So think about how you produce content. Think about what you do. Can you boil it down to a checklist, especially in marketing? If you can't, I would say it's too difficult. Yeah. You're a journalist. Don't pretend. We're all in sales when you're a small company. But as journalists, we have authority. And so when we ask other people for their opinion, they're obliged to say yes. Because when you reach out to other people and say, hey, I've got this article that I need to publish by 5 o'clock on Friday. Can you give me one sentence on what you think about this one thing that happened in the industry? Of course they're going to say yes. You combine all those things together and you have a listicle. You have an article that you can share. Better is at a conference like this, you have peers that you know that are authoritative in certain topics. You say, hey, Clayton, I know you're really knowledgeable about SEO. I have this one question about SEO that my audience really cares about. And then we take this and boost it from his page or our page. When you're a journalist and you assemble these topics in advance, then you're able to do what Mark Lack is able to do. So here he's interviewing, this guy's a billionaire. I've never even heard of this guy. I guess there's so many billionaires, it doesn't matter. And he's interviewing, who is this guy? This other guy sold all these books. All these people have made all this money. Let's see if I can find some of them that are a little more interesting than that. What 500 interviews taught Mark Lack about success? So now he manages a TV show, right, where he interviews all of these famous, successful business people, which of course generates income for him because he's selling a personal branding course, and he also gets paid for all this consulting. Have you heard of this guy, Damon John? Shark Tank, right? So here he is, he's interviewing this guy, but let's watch a little bit of this, and then I want to bring it back to what you guys can do. Oh, is the internet slow? Can we not play this? Oh, no.
I'm stuck in a parking lot.
Well, I'll just tell you what they're going to say. So he has already incepted Damon John because he's sent over the list of questions around how do you become successful as an entrepreneur by building your brand. And he's gotten Damon John to agree with the principles that he's laid out in advance. Because why would Damon John say no? Because Mark's going to say, of course it makes sense that you're going to build your public figure page, you're going to communicate with your audience, you're going to do these particular steps. If you have taken your knowledge that has been the core to build your software or product or whatever it is that you sell into a checklist, you will quickly and very easily be able to find other people that are willing to agree with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the way that you should solve this particular problem, right? If you are not openly sharing that in the same way that we have this kind of checklist, we believe that these are the 6 phases to using Facebook properly to be able to drive things at scale, right? Plumbing, all of the Google Tag Manager, all the different tags, remarketing, UTM parameters, all of these bits. Goals at different stages in the funnel. You should have this sheet, by the way. Content that's associated together in your topic wheel. So if you watch Isaac's video or Logan's video or someone, we watch your why video, maybe Eric says, yes, I do single grain because I saw all these small businesses were getting screwed over by consultants. Whatever it is, there's a story, right? Then the next thing, what's that next video they need to watch? When you have a sequence of these 1-minute videos, then it's, hey, here's the 5 mistakes I see when people set up their PPC campaigns. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I need to hire Eric. I need to talk to one of his people and have them manage my PPC campaigns. Oh, I need to talk to Clayton because I've seen him talk to other people that I know are very important, right, in the PPC SEO world, right? So content has that authority because you've tied it together topically with other people that count. And then you target these against, like what Logan was talking about, audiences that you know are going to resonate because it's that person's audience plus the media audience. Then you amplify it, which is boosting it for $1 a day, and then you continue tuning it, which is optimization, which is keeping that spreadsheet together, which is delegating things out to things like Amazon, Fancy Hands, all of onlinejobs.ph. However you're doing things, how do you say thank you at scale? How do you collect and maintain this content library and engine at scale? You don't need a lot of money. You just need a VA, maybe a few hours per week. Whatever your way is to hustle. Maybe someone from the high school, you pay them $5 an hour, 5 euros an hour, whatever the minimum wage is, right? And that's how you maintain these, because if you try to do this yourself, we know, because we've given this talk enough times in different ways, that you will probably agree with the techniques that we're talking about. You'll find that it's interesting, but you're not going to take action because you're so busy doing all these other things. You need to find some kind of personal assistant or VA or whatever that will spend the 3 or 4 hours per week, or however much content you have. We have 4 or 5 people that do this full time, and all they do is they're collecting mentions. So you can see we have these mentions of all the people that are saying good things, right? Jeff Bullis, great to catch up with Dennis, the awesome king of Facebook ads in Lisbon, where we were. We just flew in from there this morning at 5 o'clock this morning, right? You'll have all of these things that are, I bet you have amazing things that are occurring. People are saying good things about you, and you're missing them. What a shame. You could have hit a home run in the dark, and you didn't even notice. Because somewhere there on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, someone said something positive about you that you're not keeping in this library. I know this is true because it was only by accident I noticed that these articles get published. Like, oh, shit. Like Logan was on TV and these other people said, hey, did you know, like, was it your mom or whatever, people that actually watch TV when the evening news comes on and he's the top story, right? You've got to have, it's not the sexy, oh, look at me, I'm now this celebrity. It's 99% of the work is this mundane collection of content, putting things into different sequences, the optimizing of things and boosting and trying different audiences and the testing and the tuning. That's what it's all about. That's why if you remove the sexy, it's actually very simple and it's very checklist driven. All the work that is done for the high profile clients that we have, including setting up all the ads for Marketo and guys like that you think are very sophisticated, all that work is done by young adults, believe it or not me, because it's all driven down to checklists. So think about how you produce content. Think about what you do. Can you boil it down to a checklist, especially in marketing? If you can't, I would say it's too difficult, and you have not broken it down simply enough. So our exhortation to you is, go through these steps as best you can. Most people, you share your best secrets. Us that are public speakers, we know this. You share your secrets and people say, oh, that's really interesting, but then they don't do anything about it. It's like their New Year's resolution, right? We were trying to convince you, please try this. 1-minute videos that are sequenced together into a topic wheel, right? Like this. 1-minute videos, $1 a day, topic wheel. Right? Content library. Do those things. Don't forget those 3 things. There's lots of other nuances about how do you set a strategy, how do you use Google AMP to be able to get more search results, and how do you blend search and social together. We can talk about all those cool little hacking sorts of tricks, but don't forget the basics. 1-minute videos, $1 a day, content library. Yeah? Thank you very much.